Hi everybody and welcome to City Beat. I'm your host, Nancy Byrne, and we are coming to you from the beautiful Symphony Park right in the heart of downtown Las Vegas. You know, to look at this place now, you would never guess its humble beginnings. So we're going to take you back to 1999 when this area first caught the eye of then Mayor Oscar Goodman. To see downtown Las Vegas today with its arts district, entertainment district, academic medicine, shopping, pubs, and of course, this beautiful oasis in the center of it all, Symphony Park. It may be hard to believe the core of Las Vegas was little more than blight and streets that emptied at dark. That's what Oscar Goodman saw when he took a walk around the area in 1999, right after being elected mayor of the city.
There were doors of businesses that were closed down. There were broken windows. There were no people after 5. And I said, what's happening here? This looks like the downtown of areas that I went to try cases. Newark, San Diego. I mean, the gas lamp district didn't happen overnight. It happened because somebody made it happen. Newark, somebody made it happen.
It was in that revealing stroll this new mayor vowed that someone who'd make it happen in Las Vegas would be him.
I said, that is what I have to do. I have to make downtown Las Vegas my goal to make sure that it's vibrant, because I likened it to an apple. And when the core of the apple is rotting, then the bushel begins to rot, and then the whole barrel rots.
He did some research and was told by people in the redevelopment world he needed land to kickstart his mission, something scarce downtown. But he would not be defeated.
And then the light bulb went on. I said to myself, you know, every day driving from my home downtown to my law office, I passed this piece of empty land. And that's what we call the brownfield, because nothing was happening on it. It was a railroad site. It was poisonous for all intents and purposes, and it would have to be remediated. But here there were 61 acres, nothing was happening to it. Nothing was happening around it.
He tracked down the owners who wanted $33 million for the land. Well, that wasn't going to happen, so the mayor got creative.
We have a very valuable piece of land in our technology park, which is in a more affluent part of town at the time, up at Lake Mead and Tenaya. And we could trade land that we have there for the 61 acres. And we worked out a deal where we paid them $3 million and traded the land, and we now owned the brownfield site.
So now that he had the land, it was time to convince developers to build on it. And here is the result of his first believer, Larry Ruvo. He was building a medical memorial for his father, Lou Ruvo, a place where neurological diseases would be treated and studied, and where caregivers were treated as compassionately as the patients. But Ruvo was going to build it outside of downtown. That is, until the mayor had a chat with him.
He said, what can I do for you? I said, if you would move that from the outskirts into what we were then calling Union Park, it'd be the biggest favor you could ever do for me. And we worked out a deal where he moved it down. We gave him 5 acres, and now we have a Frank Gehry designed building. You can't pass there without somebody with a camera.
Now the ball was rolling.
And then Don Snyder and Myron Martin, they came up to my office, and they said, you know, we've been banging our head against the wall for years and nobody wanted to listen to us. We need a performing arts center. I said, I have a piece of land for you. The Smith family, they donated a substantial amount of money. The city assisted with the land, and now we have the Smith Center of Performing Arts. Gets no better than that.
Union Park was eventually and appropriately named Symphony Park, and the momentum continued to build as Oscar Goodman was termed out in 2011. He says, thankfully, the next mayor held the same vision for the city. His wife, our mayor, Carolyn Goodman.
People began to believe that the city was serious, and they began to develop the downtown area. And they fixed up their places, or they built new places. And then Carolyn comes along, and she does the same thing, basically, with Main Street.
Main Street and so much more either came back to life or came to be under the watchful eyes of Mayor Carolyn Goodman. We even had the first new ground-up casino resort built downtown since 1980, circa. Not to mention professional sports.
The only thing I couldn't get on are sports, but fortunately, during her term, we're the sports capital of the world as well as the entertainment of the world now.
We spoke with the Director of Economic and Urban Development. He says the Goodmans share a vision and a passion for Las Vegas, and we are all the beneficiaries.
Both mayors, Goodman, really wanted downtown to be the cultural core of Las Vegas, and I think we've seen that, and Symphony Park was huge in really creating that environment with the Smith Center. Now you see what's happening in the Arts District with all the theaters and the art and the craft breweries and the craft food. It really has established downtown as really that epicenter.
Smith says an emphasis now is on residential because more people want to be part of the downtown energy. In Symphony Park alone, there is the newly opened Auric and Park Haven, with another high-rise residential building on the way. Anywhere between 3,000 and 5,000 residents will soon be calling Symphony Park home. And there's more.
We have a brand new Marriott Element Hotel that's supposed to break ground in June of this year. Vic's is a brand new restaurant in Symphony Park is starting to get built out. I anticipate we'll see a lot more retail, a lot more restaurants within the apartment complexes. And then our goal is also to get a for-sale condo development within Symphony Park as well.
There's a lot going on in and around what used to be a brown field.
I went from a bum to a genius. I went from a dummy to a visionary. And it's the same old Oscar, nothing changed.
But you won't find either Mayor Goodman gloating. They do what they do for the love of the city.
I had to convince people to bring in these other resources, that we had to make good deals with the people because it's for the community's benefit. We weren't putting any money in our pocket, but the community would benefit.
Both mayors Oscar and Carolyn Goodman will tell you they did not do this by themselves. But if you talk to just about any city leader, they will give them full credit for turning downtown Las Vegas around. Well, as we heard in that story, Symphony Park does continue to evolve, but it's always been a great place for public art, like Tim Babington's colorful sculpture behind me. And recently, 2 new pieces of art took their place here in Symphony Park. Symphony Park in downtown Las Vegas is known for the Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health, new and luxurious residential complexes, and of course, the Smith Center for the Performing Arts. But it is also becoming quite the outdoor gallery of public art. Just in recent weeks, 2 new pieces have claimed their spots in Symphony Park. This replica of the famous Vegas Vic now hangs outside the soon-to-be-opened Vic's Restaurant, Tavern, and Live Music venue. Chris Loudon of Stoney's Rockin' Country fame is key to this new Symphony Park restaurant. He was on hand to watch the meticulous mounting of the sign.
Our family purchased the Pioneer Hotel and Gambling Hall in 1988 in Laughlin, and along with that, the trademark for Vic. Vegas Vic. We thought that this would be a great concept to put down here. It's a straight jazz venue with great Italian food. There's a sports lounge and a tavern, a bar with machines. We thought, you know, what a great idea to use Vic's as an art piece and make this a one-of-a-kind venue in the country for jazz.
This replica of the Neon Cowboy is not as large as the original. This one is 20 feet. The original is 40 feet tall. But other than the size, Hartlauer Signs, the company that built this guy, went to great lengths to make sure he was practically a carbon copy.
In fact, the Hartlauer group went back and researched the paint codes back in the 50s because paint was a little bit different. And we tried to make an exact replica of him from 1956 or 1957. So the paints are about as close as you're going to get. He does wink. He's got a cigarette in his mouth, and his arm moves. The only thing he doesn't do right now, he did not put a voice box in him, so he does not say, "Howdy, partner."
The restaurant is slated to open in the summer of 2022, but you can catch his wink and wave right now.
I'm really excited to have, be able to put him up as an art piece, and especially in this Symphony Park, which is phenomenal. I mean, what a great place to live and hang out. So, very excited about being part of it.
Right around the same time Vic took his place, this amazing display was also installed. Barbara and Larry Domsky of Domsky Glass have been creating art for 3 decades. Their creations are seen all across Nevada and in 18 other countries. When the call went out for artists to submit ideas for another Symphony Park art piece, the Domskys chose the international language of music.
We wanted to do something that could speak to anyone, any international visitor to Las Vegas. They would recognize the notes and correlate that with Symphony Park.
The musical creation speaks in a big way.
I think there's 3 small notes. They weigh about 600-700 pounds. The big note's probably 850.
While the Domskys are known for their colorful glass creations, these guys are made of steel.
A lot of people assume that we only work in glass because of our name, but truth is that Larry was a metal artist long before he was a glass artist. He started in metal in '78 when he came to Las Vegas, and when this opportunity came about, we just, magically decided it would be best in metal.
And because of their size and beauty, the Domskys knew they would draw people for unique photo opportunities.
I think we intended to make something that was an Instagram moment. And we went along that lines, and we had a lot of ideas, but then we came back to music, because everybody appreciates music and everybody understands music.
As a matter of fact, when we were doing the installation, we had people coming up taking pictures of themselves against the notes.
The city of Las Vegas has been a huge advocate of public art for decades, so what better place to display it than in the heart of the city, in the beautiful Symphony Park. The Domskys say when they are selected to create public art, which they are asked to do a lot, it's not only humbling, it's an honor they take very, very seriously. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to meet a woman who knows firsthand organ donation doesn't just change lives, it saves lives. Congratulations to the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month, Lakeisha Dickens. Lakeisha is a senior recreation leader and has been with the city since 2000. She is our go-to parks representative for all things Floydland Park at Tully Springs. As most Las Vegans know, the park is a beautiful oasis away from the hustle and bustle of the city, where we can revisit the Las Vegas of the past. The park hosts many special events, and Lakeisha is always at the forefront, ensuring that operations and events run smoothly. Lakeisha also operates our Pop-Up Parks program that brings fun activities to families in our parks. She regularly schedules her team to visit parks throughout the city to engage residents, making their day at the park extra special. For making our already fabulous parks just a little better, we congratulate Lakeisha Dickens, the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. First pitch is fouled to
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to City Beat from beautiful Symphony Park in downtown Las Vegas. You know, I heard a saying a long time ago, loosely quoting, "Don't take your organs to heaven. Heaven knows we need them right here." You don't realize how true that is unless you know someone whose life was changed or saved due to the selfless act of an organ donor. April is National Donate Life Month. Melissa Duran caught up with a woman who knows firsthand that when the life of an organ donor tragically ends, that means countless other lives can continue.
It beats for me.
Yeah.
But it's still always going to be Eddie's heart.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not my native heart.
The gift of life is something Las Vegan Becky Mintz will never take for granted. 13 and a half years ago, her life changed forever.
I thought I was a healthy mom at 44, and I drove my kid to debate camp, and on the way back, I had 2 heart attacks at the same time.
Her doctor found 2 clots in her heart. She ended up with a left ventricular assist device to help her heart beat. After months of waiting, she finally got on the transplant list. Becky remembers the waiting, the anxiousness, the fear of the unknown.
You're thinking, when is it going to be my turn? Because you're anxious about being on this machine that's keeping you alive. And then you're also thinking, well, someone's going to die for me in order to live. But in order to really be able to accept the gift of life, you have to know that people die every day. And if you're lucky, someone who's died has said yes, and they're your match.
Fortunately, Becky didn't wait long. A match was found 11 days later. She's here today because 18-year-old Eddie Perea said yes to organ donation.
My donor had let his family know he wanted to be an organ donor. He hadn't actually gotten to the DMV yet to say yes, but he was at a family grandfather's funeral a few weeks before, and he told his family, you know, something ever happens to me, I won't need my organs, I want to donate them. And they're like, oh, what are you talking about? Get out of here. And that was the last wish he had, and they honored that wish.
Perea suddenly passed away in a dirt bike accident. Not a day goes by where Becky doesn't think of him. Through the years, she has met her donor's family. They've listened to his heart beat inside of her. They formed a bond, exchanged gifts, and keep in touch. Becky even has his handprint on her wall, a perfect match, inside and out. She says thank you to him every day. Also, now in her spare time, she volunteers with the Nevada Donor Network, her way of giving back. April is National Donate Life Month, a chance for those in the community to bring awareness to organ, eye, and tissue donation.
When someone becomes registered to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor at a Nevada DMV or online at registerme.org, they have the opportunity to save the lives of 8 others through organ donation and give the gift of healing and life to 75 or more through tissue and ocular donation. So whether that means giving the gift of sight to someone who has a damaged cornea or giving someone the ability to live their life without pain through a bone graft. There's so many different ways that tissue can save and enhance and heal someone else's life.
When it comes to signing up someone to donate, Nevada does well. 62% of people in our state are registered donors. Most states hover around 54%. But getting even more registered donors is still a priority.
Right now in the United States, there are over 100,000 Americans that are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. Almost 600 of them are Nevadans. When one person says yes to organ, eye, and tissue donation, they become that light of hope for those that are desperately waiting for that second chance.
And that second chance has given Becky and her family the gift of time and memories and a future with her husband and daughter.
My goal at the time was to see her graduate high school. So I got to see that, obviously. I saw her graduate college. I saw her get married, danced at her wedding. I'm waiting for grandbabies now, so hopefully that'll be, soon-ish.
She urges everyone to become a hero and give that same gift of hope.
You see me here, transplantation and organ donation works. Just say yes. That's all I want them to know. Just say yes. Check the box and give someone hope. Not that you're going to pass, but that when you do pass and you no longer need those organs, you can save someone else.
For more information on Nevada Donor Network or how to register to become an organ and tissue donor, go to nvdonor.org. For City Beat, I'm Melissa Duran.
Thank you, Melissa Duran, for that story. You know, all of our City of Las Vegas municipal court judges have found a way to cut down on crime, and not just by throwing people in jail. All of our judges hold specialty courts aimed at ending the cycles of crime. Well, Sue Levitt's going to take us inside a new specialty court that's helping our homeless population get a fresh start.
All rise. Las Vegas Municipal Court is now in session.
Devin Fowkes is in court today for a status check.
The Honorable Judge Shannon Nordstrom presiding.
Devin was arrested and appeared before Judge Shannon Nordstrom for the first time about a year ago. He was on drugs, homeless, and living under a bridge downtown. Devin could have served jail time for his crime, but instead was offered the chance to participate in Fresh Start.
I just didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to flourish. I was sick of life living me and me not living life.
The goal of Fresh Start: to connect the unhoused population that have misdemeanor crimes to the resources needed to obtain stable housing and stable income.
Me and my friends, we never thought there was anything other than the life we were living. And now, from these programs, it showed us that there's something else out there, and it's way better.
The Fresh Start Specialty Court was started by Judge Nordstrom about a year ago.
I thought, well, what if we do something different? Right? What if we try to connect them to community resources to help improve their situation? It helps everybody. It helps them. It helps everybody.
Those that choose to participate in Judge Nordstrom's program are required to follow strict guidelines, including staying out of trouble, staying sober, and checking in with a caseworker regularly.
We want to give them the tools, right? Give them a little toolbox and give them the tools that after they graduate a program, that they are faced with some of these challenges, because some of these challenges don't end. You know, if it's substance use, addiction is kind of difficult to overcome. There may be a relapse, but what do you do when there is a relapse? Who do you call? We love them, but we don't want them to keep coming back. We want to help them that they aren't able to be in the system anymore.
It's not a one-size-fits-all program. It's really, when they come in, we look at where they are and what their barriers are that either rendered them homeless or keep them homeless, and we try to address all of the barriers. That way, when we send them out, that they are successful moving forward.
And now, after a year of staying clean, Devin, along with 6 others, is ready to graduate.
This program really does work, and it's helped me out immensely, and it's given me my life back. So thank you guys.
We just try to wrap ourselves around them and support them through the process. And in the end, we're bettering our community one life at a time.
For City Beat, I'm Sue Levitt.
Thank you, Sue Levitt, for that story. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, did you know that April 2nd is World Autism Day? When we return, we'll take you to a local nonprofit that helps families facing the challenges of autism every day of the year.
I know you're hungry. Starving.
Those cheeseburgers and fries smell so good.
Yeah, but it sucks that I have to drive all the way home before digging in. But it'll suck even more if you got you killed driving while distracted by a cheeseburger.
If you won't listen to anyone else, at least listen to you. Save yourself. Put down distractions, even if they're tasty. Paid for by the Nevada Departments of Public Safety and Transportation.
Totally worth the wait.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts. Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Welcome back to City Beat from beautiful Symphony Park in downtown Las Vegas. World Autism Day is celebrated each year on April 2nd. Right now, Sue Levitt is going to introduce us to a local nonprofit dedicated to helping families who face challenges of autism every day.
The Grant-A-Gift Autism Foundation Ackerman Center and the UNLV School of Medicine jointly opened the Center for Autism in 2016, and since then has served over 6,000 families facing challenges with autism.
Part of our mission is to help the underinsured, the Medicaid population, and so many centers out there don't do that. It's an area that I'm glad that we're a part of because autism knows no boundaries as far as socioeconomic status.
The center provides comprehensive care for children of all ages with autism. It's also a place where parents can find community resources and support.
I don't know that I would be able to do this without them. And her progress is amazing. And they're so sweet, like even on the clock, off the clock, if I had any questions, I could call Kay or I could call Cameron and it would be no problem.
Cheryl Martinez's daughter Janelle is the youngest of 5 children. Janelle, or Janelle Bean, as her mom sweetly refers to her, has autism.
She's awesome. She's super bubbly, super smart, and super curious. And she's just great, my little.
Janelle was diagnosed with autism when she was almost a year old. Her mother knew something was wrong when Janelle stopped talking, making eye contact, and wouldn't respond to her anymore. This is when Cheryl found out about the Grant-A-Gift Autism Foundation Ackerman Center.
Here they kind of dabble with a little bit of everything. They teach her to kind of imitate, and then they also do a lot of playing, so they make the learning fun for her.
Cheryl has been bringing her daughter to the center for about a year and a half.
She's like a whole other kid. So before, when we first started, it was a lot of like fit throwing.
Cheryl is grateful for the progress her daughter has made, especially because she can now communicate with Janelle. Janelle points to things she wants. Her social skills have improved, and she even plays with her siblings.
Now she sees them, she laughs with them, she jumps on the trampoline with them. They like wrestle around, and like she goes to preschool, she has little friends.
Janelle has made progress Cheryl never thought was possible for her daughter, and is thankful for the ongoing support her family receives from the center.
For people to know, like it's okay. There are resources out there. You know, you're not alone is like super reassuring and really helps, especially going through the day. Like, it's okay because if I need anything, I've got them.
Everyone is so mission focused and here to help the community, help the children, and not about necessarily just getting patients in the door and out the door. It's about changing their lives for the long term.
One in every 44 kids is diagnosed with autism, and although the center has been able to help over 6,000 families, there's still over 5,000 families on a wait list to receive service. Now, if you're looking for a chance to volunteer or just a way to celebrate World Autism Month, you can visit grantagift.com. For City Beat, I'm Sue Levitt.
Thank you, Sue Levitt, for that story. Well, that does it for this City Beat, but this is kind of ending a bit of an era. City Beat's not going away, but this guy is going away. This is Steve Horlock. He's the one that shoots City Beat, a lot of the stories, a lot of the videos for our social media department. He's switching over to our IT department to run our drone program. He also does that, along with everything else. So I'm sad for me and for all of our viewers and our social media followers, but very happy for you because it's a great opportunity.
Thanks, Nancy.
All right, good luck. See you later. Find out what's going on all over the city of Las Vegas by subscribing to the City Beat e-newsletter. Simply scan this QR code to get a preview of each show twice a month.